Okay. All right. Are we ready for the second one?
Yep, let's head on to the second one. Just for to keep in context, time and other things like that. Probably about 5 minutes or so for this scenario, and then we'll go into discussion. And I'm going to turn off my mic and turn off my camera and let Farmer Hans and NRCS Adam take it away.
Hey Adam, how's it going today?
Good, Hans.
I only got about 5 minutes because I got the crop insurance guy calling me here to look at replant insurance, but I really appreciate you talking with me in April about that annual ryegrass concern. It's May 15th now, and I'm starting to freak out a little bit, and I thought maybe you could help me out again just a tad, if that'd be all right.
Okay.
You know, the kind of wet season we've had, and planting has been pretty sparse. Got another field. Actually, it's just south of the field that we talked about earlier. And I checked the receipts, cereal ryegrass on this one. And, you know, it's about 3 feet tall. And you know my history with cover crops, and I've never been in this boat, and I just kind of like to know what you think about my potential to even plant that this year. I mean, prevented planting is a long way off, but getting this killed seems like an impossible practice at this point.
Are you currently planning to go to corn or beans in that field?
I am lucky in this respect. The uncle's also a seed dealer. We've got access to both. Which do you think I've got even a chance of getting in there?
So if you've got the option to switch to beans, that's probably a good option, just because the cereal rye that big is going to have fairly quick growth. It's going to consume a lot of nitrogen.
Okay.
Trying to get out ahead of that with corn with nitrogen up front is going to be difficult.
We're on the back end of May 10th, where Nielsen says we're losing yield potential on corn anyway. So I think you're right. Maybe I should go soybeans.
And is it currently like could you plant it now?
We've got the equipment. Is it too wet? Yeah. I mean, we're seeing a drying window right now. I think in the next 3 or 4 days, we'll be able to get out there. We've got about day 8 or 9 is the next chance for precipitation. So we've got about a 4-day window where we might be able to screw some things up out there.
So do you have steering or guidance on your tractor?
We do. As of this year, we now have auto steer on every tractor.
Okay. And are you planting that, or are you drilling it, or what are you doing?
On beans, we like to drill. Yeah.
Okay. And was that corn last year then?
No, that would have been beans last year.
Beans last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you're switching to beans, I guess I would say get it planted when you can plant it, and spray it right there after.
So you're telling me to plant green?
If you're fine with it.
Well, it seems like a slow proposition, but we do have 3 or 4 days, so I think we get across it.
Yeah, the risk you run, you can spray it and plant it, whatever that sequence is for you that works, if you can spray it and plant it. But you're going to be under a pretty tight window.
Yeah.
What kind of beans are you planting? Let me ask that.
Well, so we used to be non-GMO, and then the dicamba thing happened, and we said, can't beat them, join them. So yeah, we're doing dicamba beans.
Okay. So yeah, if you're, like I said, you're going to have a pretty tight window there. You can spray it and plant it, or vice versa.
Now with 3 feet tall stuff, when I spray that, am I going to get through it with just upping the rate of glyphosate a little bit, or do you have any suggestions there?
So I'm going to refer you to extension on that. I know in the
Okay.
last call you said you didn't have an agronomist, so
That's
I'm going
right.
to refer you to extension on rates, or your agronomist, whoever you work with on chemicals.
Okay. And yeah, I did reach out to Extension after the last time that we chatted, and seems to be a very knowledgeable, very friendly individual here in my county. So I really appreciate the referral there.
Good.
Well, I got to hop on with the insurance agent. Thank you for your time. I'll see what I can do and let you know how it goes.
Okay. Thanks, Hans.
All righty. So first of all, I heard one mistake. That county, that educator in that county is not very good or friendly to boot. So, but anyhow, I don't know which county you're in, but I don't think it's this one I was thinking. All right. So a couple of things here for me, for Tony, Stephanie, and the rest of the gang here. It's been my experience when Adam and you pop in. I only got 5 minutes. Are there some things like that first talk that it's going to take 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes? What would you say?
I would say we need to reschedule an appointment.
I would really want you to do that, because I know what's going to be more important is when that crop guy shows up, you're done. And if you're not finished with the conversation, being able to pick back up. So Adam, if I was doing, and I used to sell door to door, so that's, you know, I understand, so books. So, you know, you need the full time to get your message. Adam, would you agree that your advice just led Farmer Hans to change what he might would have done with corn and beans? Did you lead him down? He went down the path of planting beans because of you. Is that correct?
Correct.
So again, and my point here for any of the new folks is, people are going to take your advice and they're going to go with it. And so you've just now changed what maybe you gave Hans an option. He jumped on it, and I thought that was pretty good. What I don't like is your answer, Adam, and I'll let the rest of the group mention. You're in a horrible position. No, you're in a position that I am. Fred, you're the pesticide guy. Tell me what I need to control weeds, bugs, diseases. I'm not telling you that. I don't know nothing about it. How can you be that when that's your job? No, I got Bill Johnson, and I've got Bill Johnson's cell phone. So when I'm there, I give it. Your answer, it was I thought was not very good on why you're not giving me advice. It made you sound like government, and I'm in the same boat. I understand. Tony, anybody, is there a better answer than to say, you know, I can't give you advice? That's policy. It puts you in a bad spot. Is there a way of saying it like, you know, there's a lot of choices of chemicals out there. Let you work with your ag retailer, and you guys decide what it is that you want to spray, but you got to get the timing right, or whatever it is that you're talking about. That's your focus, right, Adam?
Correct.
I'd like to see something. So what is it you could say that would be positive, and without saying, you know, what I haven't answered that question. Was my answer any better or not? What's the answer to get you out of this situation? Tony, you have an answer, or Stephanie?
Well, Fred, I think what you said would make sense, to try and say, hey, there are other options out there. I'm not as familiar with them. We need to get you in touch with somebody else, or here's a reference or whatever. And that probably takes it away from saying, oh, hey, that's something I can't do.
Yeah. And I don't even think you have to say I don't know nothing about it. It's just, and you might, most of you know this stuff, but you can't because of policy. So I think just saying, look, there's a lot of different options, especially now with the shortage of chemicals, how often you're going to spray and all of that sort of thing. I would think, Bill, that would be an important part to get me back to the ag retailer and see what's available. See, you know, seeing what's available, what would work. They will know, right?
Yes, yes, I think what Tony said is dead on. I think what you say, I mean, you could say something to the effect that due to the nature of my position, I'm not allowed to make recommendations, but let me get you in contact with this person here because I've had this person here give recommendations to these situations. And then, you know, I think the stronger the follow-up is with that, then that takes you right out of that kind of that negative aspect of that.
Sure. So for me, it's the 5 minutes, Adam. You really need to reschedule. We can't talk in 5 minutes on something that's going to alter a farmer's operation. Again, something sort of positive on getting them to the ag retailer. And for me, the advice can lead to changes in practices. So take your advice seriously. If you don't know the answer, then please don't answer. Find the answer and get back with that individual. So Stephanie, anything in the chat, anything with the questions, which people can disagree with Hans, Adams, myself, or Tony, whatever, or add anything to that?
At this point in time, we still don't have anything in the chat. I think we have kind of a quiet bunch, and again, they're still all soaking it up. But I think the scenario discussions that we had here were really good. Fred, the things that you added to this, and Bill and Tony, these are the things that we need our NRCS employees to think about. And you all know in this group, as I know, that Adam is a farmer, and he regularly makes these decisions himself, just like Hans does on his operation. But like you guys said, Adam also knows that he's not going to give someone else recommendations. He knows what he would do. And there's a lot of great extension, you know, some of the publications that, and blogs and articles that Bill's written recently that he's going to go into, printing those out, that actually has a whole list of recommendations for things this spring. And he has a bunch of resources, but he, like you guys said, he knows that what he would do is not necessarily something that someone else would do. And he's going to provide some suggestions and also find the resources that are there that can support that farmer. And that's our job in this role here, is to provide that support and find the resources that are out there and help make those connections between farmers and the people that are giving those recommendations. So
Stephanie, two follow-ups. One is this is being recorded. And
yes,
I would think specifically on these two things, that if I didn't follow through, if I didn't hear everything, if I didn't understand the conversation, I can now go back to that conversation, I guess, pause it and have people around me say, I don't understand. Why is he talking about closing? What is it? And it might be, if I'm new, somebody's going to have to go show me what those wheels look right, or what things look like, or whatever. So it's being taped. The other one that seems to me is you don't want to get involved in being really careful about making product selections, especially this year, Bill, because if we have a shortage and we tell somebody to use something that's not available at their ag retailer, that's going to put us in a bad position, right? Put them in a bad position that they don't have it and they take their business elsewhere, right? I mean, to me, you know, they can have options available, but it may not be specifically what Adam in this case or what we would say, correct? So that's why we probably want to stay out of it. And
yeah, I agree. And I think having that inventory of telephone numbers available, you know, one or two people I can talk to about weeds, one or two people about diseases, bugs, fertility, whatever it happens to be. I mean, I'm in a similar situation in that sometimes when I'm talking to people about controlling weeds, they'll start asking me about fertility or disease management. And I'll say, wait a minute, I need to get you in contact with the expert, because there's somebody that you know, that's just much better equipped to answer that question.
now that would also be true. Whoever the experts are in your group, Stephanie, these men and women that work for NRCS and or extension, makes no difference, within the county, shouldn't you have a list of numbers that you can call somebody on a cell phone and say, I'm at Adam's farm now, I got this question, you're the expert here, how would you answer? I do that again. I do that all the time with Bill and others. Jim Camberetto, I don't know the answer. I've heard this. Let's call Jim up, see if we can catch him. If not, I follow back with him. Shouldn't they have access to certain people to be able to call
Absolutely, Fred. And I think that, as people build their awareness and getting comfortable with having these conversations, that they do make those phone calls, whether it be a mentor or a DC that they're working with from another county, or if it's someone at the state office, Tony or myself, or again, in meetings and other things that they've had, they've probably crossed paths with Bill to just give him a call. And now, Bill will probably just put your cell number in the chat, so you'll be on everybody's speed dial here at the meeting today.
Or not.
Or not. Fred thinks that's a great idea. But you're right, Fred. One of the things I think that you're really trying to point out here is that we don't have to go this alone, and that as a support staff for farmers and working with our farmers, that we do better as a team, that we don't have to provide all of the information that a farmer is looking for. And if we can reach out together to help compile that information or get answers, that we will do better together than we will by ourselves.